You want to still keep making the big success financially. Maybe you need to add employees, subtract employees, maybe you need to sell, maybe you need to merge, whatever. But you also don't want to give up your family time, your golf time. Therefore, that's a future you want to create, you see? So instead of going into worry, which means holding the rudder like this and not moving it, or trying to move it really fast and say, maybe that'll do it. No, you still have to adjust to the reality, but we're now going to create a future, and that's what the energy's all about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is something miraculous. Today's a day that is the first day that you're ever going to be able to obtain something special that people have been asking for the longest time in the energy. Not just a year, 2 years, 3 years. We've always supplied wonderful tea at the treatment house, and whenever people got treated, special teas that had energy in them. And we always supplied tea that had been actually embedded with certain vibrations and tea quality together that would allow you to really enjoy not only the tea, but actually have the experience of the energy and sort of forward you in your process of expanding and developing and growing in the energy. So I'm going to make a little announcement right now, and then we're going to dive into a physical exercise that's going to put you in a place where you're really going to want to rock it. So what's the mystery thing? Here it is. So for the first time, finally, we found a tea that we really thought was worth having you all get to use and take wherever you wanted to in the world. And this tea is, right now we have only, 50 bags? That's it, that came in. Then we'll get larger and larger shipments. And each one of them, throughout the presentation, this next 45 minutes, and also throughout the presentation for the rest of today, I'll tell you more and more about what type of value and the energy that was put into these tea, each one of these little tiny tea balls, so that you could experience something wonderful when you drink tea all the time. So finally it's here, and there will be an opportunity. I'll tell you how Justin will let go of 50 of them, which is all we have. So you guys get to be the first to ever do that, although we've had, thousands and thousands of people over the years around the world ask for that, because wherever I go, I always energize somebody's tea, whether it's at their house or whatever, or their dinner, if it's the whole dinner. Now we're going to do a physical exercise. Now the physical exercise is a physical practice. The reason we're going to do the physical practice, before I tell you what we're going to be doing with the energy today, is that I want you all to be ready. And the general sense of what you go through every day when you say you're ready is what you consider, well, that's me. That's my normal self. That's when I go wake up in the morning and you either look in the mirror or you don't, or jump in the shower, but you'd usually have some internal conversation. Or your kids come up and give you a conversation. Or you get a phone call. Or if you're like me, you just turn on music right away and you're ready to dance. But that depends on where you enter into the planet. So where you're going to enter into this course right now is we're going to do an exercise. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you'll stand up for a second, put your tea somewhere, and then make sure your phones are off. So here we are. If I didn't mention, we are at Energy for Success. We're in the first entry point of this entire presentation today. And this exercise, I'm going to demonstrate, and also we have our wonderful, there she is, Sarah's going to help also. So you get to get the yin and the yang of it. This exercise, throughout the talk, I will let you know what's good about this exercise and why you want to do it, but you're just going to come along with me, and we're going to show you up here what the steps are after I go through them first, okay? So up here will be summary after you hear it from me and see us demo. So you don't have to do anything yet, but the first thing you do is you get out of bed in the morning, and instead of doing that thing I talked about, we won't mention what that was, unless it's playing music, you just reach up here, and then you just gently put your arms like this, and you make what's called a crossbar. Okay, can you see the crossbar? Okay, now, as you make the crossbar, your job is, and all this is written down, so don't worry. Your job is to keep it over the center of your head. Now, later, it's okay with me if you bring it back. But the most important thing is it has to be center, not forward. So if you do forward, in Chinese, a manner that'd be called buhao. So if you notice your arms won't go back, then just practice gently trying to keep them back as far as you can. Is that everybody's agreement? There's three provisos in this exercise, but it's a phenomenal exercise. Okay, so the first one is that you're going to put your arms like here's to make a bar, and they're going to be parallel to your ears or behind, and it's going to be over the crown. Now, the other thing is, you can let go now. The head and the neck in this exercise, nothing. Promise me. Nobody's to go, start to pull their neck one way or another. Is no one going to do that, right? No one's going to. You see people on the bus going, don't do that. Please, don't do that. Otherwise, the amount of energy that's going to be fused up in there is going to not work the way you want it to. That's a nice way of saying it. Okay, so you got the two provisos. Now what's the third one? Third one is throughout the exercise, what I want you to do is to focus on keeping your abdomen in. So the way you're going to focus on keeping it in is that the breathing part of this exercise practice is that this is one of the practices I do in the morning first thing. So while we're listening to the music. Is that you're going to actually, I'm going to show you how to do the breathing. And you can do the breathing, it's not difficult, but it's important you follow this sequence. Now why? You'll see later. But the important thing is you're not going to do this, the last proviso, you're not going to hold your breath like you're a big balloon, and go, you ever see weightlifters or those guys in the Olympics, they go, if you do that, you're not doing this exercise and it's not going to work, and plus it's not going to work. Really, it's not going to work, okay? So promise me, I want you to hold your breath, but you're going to hold your breath out. So we'll do one practice of that. So we're all going to take a deep breath in. Now we're going to blow it out slowly. Slower, slower. You'll see why slower. And then when it's almost all the way out, then while it's out, you count to 10. 1, don't breathe if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you can take a breath in. And then all the way out again. You're going to do it 3 times. Notice it's slow out. I'm whistling so you can hear the breath coming out. Okay, so you got most of the air out, everybody? Now you can count to 10. Don't breathe in, though. 1, 2, 3. So you're counting with the air still not coming in. You're counting on your air that's whatever's in there. 4. Now you can breathe in. Now, those of you who breathe like, that's what you want to get away from, okay? You want to be smooth and quiet. I can see some of you are actually doing it correctly already, which is great. I want you to be smooth on the in and smooth on the out. How smooth? So smooth that eventually there's a secret to where you actually have to do this with rice paper and a bamboo shoot and a feather, and I'm not going to put you through all that, but you actually have the thing here and it doesn't move. That's how slow the air has to come out. So you can see this. It's fun exercise as we get to it, but we haven't gotten into this. Is just the part we're going to put into this. So the third breath is going to be the same thing, okay? So deep breath in. No holding the balloon, and then out. I'm going to speed up the way out just so we get to the exit. But for you, take longer. And keep going out until there's nothing there as far as you're concerned. Now, you don't have to turn blue, but notice there's nothing there. Then count your 10. 1, 2, 3. Don't breathe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now breathe in, but don't sound like you're gasping. There you go. Now breathe normal. Okay. So the exercise, you're going to do that 3 times before you pull your arms down. And you're going to love it. You'll see, because you'll get stronger and stronger at doing it with each time. You're going to surprise yourself. This exercise actually demonstrates to you things right away. That's why I like it so much. Okay, so we'll try it the first. I'll demonstrate for the first time. So you put your arms here and put your hands here. Now, some people go, well, what are my hands? You mean to sit up here? Not really. I wrote up here on the slide for you, and I'm going to give out that this hand pushes up, and this hand pushes down. Okay, that's the only way you have tension in your whole body. And then this whole bar, while it's pushing down, pulls up so that your shoulders and your whole body feels like it's being pulled up. You got it? So this whole structure here, all the way down to my heels, actually is being pulled up by just this bar. Is everybody's neck relaxed? Tell me it's relaxed. Relax your neck. Relax your head. Nobody's allowed to stiffen your neck. Now, as you pull up, you notice the square. But what I'm doing, just so you can see, I'm pushing down with this hand, pushing up. Now, you could do it the other way. It's okay. But whichever's comfortable. But this is it. So now we're going to do it with our breath. You'll see it's not so hard. So we'll put our arms down and get started. Ready? Relax. Take your first only free deep breath now, because now the rest of them are going to be outs. Take a deep breath. Okay, and then put your arms up here. Relax. Notice it's to the center of your head or behind. And put some pressure down with this hand, pressure up with this hand so the bar is firm. And then start to pull yourself up while you take your breath in. And then let the breath out. We'll breathe out faster this time, just so you get through the exercise. And then when you're at the end of your breath, don't turn blue, just to the end what you consider normal. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pushing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now, eventually, you're going to be able to do all 3 breaths before you take your arms down. But in the beginning, it's fine to go like this. Take a breath. Only 1 breath. Then come back. Now, take your breath. But remember, set your arms. Don't do this. Don't this. And what does setting your arms mean? So the only thing you have to do, the only thing that's contracting the whole body is this thing, which is pulling up. You have to pull this up, see? And then as you're pulling up, it's gentle and it's fun. Then take your breath in and then breathe it out. Now while it's out and your stomach's pulled in, count to 10. 1, 2, keep the bar here. 3, 4, 5. Keep the bar. 8, 9, 10. Then smile, because you get to breathe. Take your big breath. Only 1 more left for the first set. Then come up, take your breath, and then get your thing set. Don't just start breathing, and don't just start going like this. That is not the exercise to create the, some people will yawn when you do this. Some people will smile, and not keep this pressure. And remember, there's nothing to hurt. There's only this bar that's pulling up. See how it pulls up? So it's pulling all this, all the way down to the floor, and maybe other stuff too. All right, so get this up. Here we go. All right, so you took your breath in, and then out. And then leave it all the way out. Then you count your 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pushing up. 6. Keep pushing up. Relax the neck. Stomach in. 7. This is the last one. 8. Last one. 10. Now, relax. Bring it down to your abdomen this time. Here. This may be one of the most fun exercises you'll ever do. I do this every morning with, but I say it's in the printout for you all. You do 1 set, and then you do another set, and then you do another set, and they build. But the important thing is that you got 1 set in. Okay, now, does anybody notice that it wasn't that difficult to do? Did anybody have any questions about the exercise? I really put detail into it on the printout, because I want you to get it right. So there isn't anything you're pushing. You're not like wrenching your neck, wrenching your back. You're not forcing your chin up in the air. There's other exercises to add on to this, but the most important thing is you did it. So now, just for a little experiment, I want you to just notice that right now, if we were to do it again, those of you who want extra credit, right now, you could, and it would be a lot easier than the first time you did it. So watch. You can do it with me. Put your pressure here. That's all. That's the only thing that's stable, like the middle of a gyroscope. Okay? Then breathe out, or if you haven't taken a breath yet, then breathe in, then breathe out. Slower than that. Holding the pressure. Keep pushing up, stomach in, and then count to 10 when you're at the end. 1, 2, neck relax. 3, stomach in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push up. Push up with one hand, down with the other. 9, 10. Smile, and you can take your breath. Now, was for anybody that would be the beginning of this next set, which is 3. Was that a little bit easier after you got the momentum the first time? Now, what's going to happen eventually is that it will all click in at the same time. So that any time that you put your hands up here, your stomach will come in. You'll actually get 5 feet taller. Do you ever want to be taller when you're a kid? Mom, I want to be taller, please. Yeah, we'll put a little mark here. You'll be taller, don't worry soon. This will make you taller. Is that okay? All right. And it will do a lot of other great things for you. And yes, it leads into more complicated things, but you have to get the base, the most important, this part here. Now, isn't that much more fun than waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror and going, well, how are we doing today? Do you think we're going to do all right? What's good? And then there's the chatter, and then what else are we going to do? And no, I don't want to come out yet, and all that, rather than, and then smile at the end. You start your day with that. Are you willing to do that? Yes. Now, in the exercise, I have you do it 3 times a day, but it's up to you. Take it. And there's also a little mantra you can say at the end. And I did it also, when I dictated it the way I do it, which is just, which you have, because somebody said, oh, we should put it in there. And then I did the other way, which is more traditional, which is bullets. So you can have it both ways on your paper. Okay, you can sit down now, thanks. Was that good that you got to do that exercise? Yeah. All right, and that's the exercise that fits. We have 2 actual practices. You see how the first hour, even though it's sort of creative, it's actually all these wild energies are flowing in the room and out of the room as we're getting stuff ready for you and everybody else in the world. So this is the bullet point one. You see keeping a straight line above your head or just behind your head, never past the center of your head towards the front. So I'm just showing you that you've got all this. So don't think, because if most of you are like me who went to medical school, you're compulsive. I didn't get to write all that down. I didn't get to take a picture of that. I need to see that. I don't care. I want that slide. Don't go there, okay? All you billionaires who think this is the only way to be successful, you don't have to be compulsive. I did it all for you. Okay, now, the next thing we want to talk about is we want to get into, when you wake up in the morning, it's really important that you somehow hook into your best possible surfboard, you know? Do you want to get on that broken down surfboard that's left over, it's chewed up by everything else in the environment? Or do you want one that's sleek and smooth and you're going to be able to ride the waves with it, okay? Assuming you understand what the world's like. Is everybody clear what the world's like? Are you? Yes or no? Do you need a surfboard? Yes. I was on a boat recently and I asked one of the people that came on there, I said, would you mind taking the rudder and doing it, and all of a sudden we're going this way. I said, wait a minute, you're supposed to like keep pulling it back so we go in that direction. And they went, oh, I was just enjoying the sunset. Normal, just enjoying the sunset without making sure that you're dealing with the reality. Say it, reality. Reality is moving. Therefore, you have to move the rudder with it. So I said, I will take the rudder, but then you're going to have to do what I was doing in front of the boat. And they go, I don't know how to do that. I go, good. Then you're going to learn that the waves are going like this, aren't they? And the current's going here. And if you want to go there in life, if you want to go towards your big successes, you need to keep adjusting. Now, do you adjust it once and you keep, this is what this person couldn't get over. I pulled it over to the left and it keeps going now. It won't, no, I said you have to adjust with the waves. So everybody go like this. This is another exercise. I actually am going to give you one of these days a oar to put in your bed. So that when you wake up in the morning, you roll over, you're going to hit this big wooden oar and go, oh yeah, you have to like keep adjusting left, right. I mean, you wake up and think you've got it. You don't. The ocean still has said it's not a flat ocean. It's an ocean that's going to cause you up and down. And that's this, we're in an ocean of other things here, different permeabilities, but it's still the same physics that is up and down. Therefore, you have to like adjust this and then adjust that if you're in a canoe, and then if you're in another type of boat, then you just have to keep changing the rudder in the back. Has anyone ever seen anything any different than that? Throughout all of history, has there been different? Do you think it's going to ever change? Really, you can get a motorboat, you know, okay, right? But even with a motorboat, you still have to keep adjusting either this, the rudder in the back, or the wheel in the front. Otherwise, even with that, the water and the currents are too strong for all of us. And it was meant to be that way. Why? Because you're not bigger than it. It's something you're supposed to fit into. It's your real mother, the physics of the planet, and it's what's going to take care of you if you'll just, quit squirming so much and move the rudder back and forth so that you can stay on course. Is that too much to ask? So what does it take doing back and forth? Well, guess what this is? First thing in the morning, this is putting yourself in a place where you're AAA, you're bringing all the energy into your body, and you're ready to make those movements. So if I had a ski class, which I've had multiple times before, and we meet in the morning, and I asked, did everybody do your exercise I showed you to do before you come? And what would you think the percentage of people who did them? 0, 0, or 0? What do you think? It's like 7 people. We went out drinking. It was so much fun. Those movies we made. I go, that was yesterday. It's today. What about today? Today's reality day. You want life? It's reality. That was something in the past. We don't even know anything specific about it because we didn't measure every single molecule of it to even know every accurate point. But this place, you can win right now. So let's do our exercise. So I would have them do the exercises, and then we would go skiing. Now, I learned the hard way a long time ago what it was like just to go, well, that's okay, next time. Because then people had injuries. Always. They would go, oh, I don't feel good today. I'm stiff. I don't know. I was good yesterday. Because yesterday is what? In physics, yesterday is not really too palpable. Nobody's been able to go, hey, let me give you a yesterday. You want to buy one? We got one for you. We're selling yesterday. You can't. However, we can sell you capacity, a way to access your capacity so that your future doesn't appear to you or you don't experience it like your yesterday. So say you're a person we have a number of you all everywhere who have been doing, really the way you'd like to be doing, say, in your businesses. But now you want to have more free time and you'd like to scale at the same time. You want to still keep making the big success financially. Maybe you need to add employees, subtract employees, maybe you need to sell, maybe you need to merge, whatever. But you also don't want to give up your family time, your golf time. Therefore, that's a future you want to create. You see? So instead of going into worry, which means holding the rudder like this and not moving it, or trying to move it really fast and say, maybe that'll do it. No, you still have to adjust to the reality, but we're now going to create a future, and that's what the energy's all about. Now, do you understand? So most of you are so clear who've attended all the previous talks that really you would like to catch the present, but it's too fast, right? I mean, everybody says, be in the present, you missed it. Be in the present again, you missed it again. Oh, I'm going to be the present, I'm going to catch it. You can't. I'm going to be the present, I can catch it. But you can be in that edge, present leading into future, and therefore you do have a chance to be who you really are, which is a creator, right? And what the energy is about is you creating the life you want. Why do you need to use the energy? You don't have to. You can go along with whatever vibrations that they gave you in the gulag. It's okay with me. Way past everybody, huh? No, but gulag's over. That's back in the Cold War, the Russia stuff. How about, okay, well, you can use the ones that they gave you in Siberia. How about that? Or maybe in whatever. Now, and as I watch certain shows on TV, somebody showed me this horrible show last night, which was really horrible. I lasted about 10 minutes, and they kept going, yeah, but this is your favorite interviewer, which it was. But I said, well, I just don't, the whole thing she's doing is not only down, but there's no way out for this for the people. It's just boo-hoo. And if you just have boo-hoo, you've got 2,000 years of boo-hoo, right? You've had enough boo-hoo. How would you like if you came in the emergency room that I'm running, and you come in with your broken arm and you're bleeding out the other arm because you fell off, and I go, boo-hoo, and then I walked away. You'd say, wait, I'm in an emergency room. You're supposed to fix this. I need to get back out there. Of course, that's the purpose. Only you're the one who's the doctor, who's seeing yourself in the emergency room and fixing yourself minute by minute with the energy. And your juice, what allows you to connect up your neurons so you can continue this healing process that you've got, this creative process. Are you aware that you have a healing creative process every moment? You're aware of that? And you just rely on it. I mean, after I sew you up, you go back and you don't expect to have to come back again. You go, oh, well, the body will heal the rest of that. That's you. You have that benefit. So we're going to do a breathing exercise now, and where we're going to use the breathing exercise for is that after you do the exercise in the morning, some people do the breathing exercise before. I've often done that, and you can also do it afterwards. But we're going to do a breathing exercise that will associate with this get ready exercise. Would you be up for that? Yes. All right, good. So eyes closed. Now, when you listen to this, wherever you are, whether you're listening to it right away in the present time in your car, or you're listening to it early in the morning, you're listening to it at night, it really doesn't matter. Well, the point is, you want every single opportunity that your body wants to deliver to you to be there for you. And that's what the energy is all about. The energy is all about is that you actually have and have memories of that you can really pull it together and put some wonderful things on in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's financial, whether it's creativity, whether it's writing a book, writing a play, all those things. You have so many, and the practices to do that we have set up for you. However, you got to pull the energy in and get the sensors going. And that's what we're doing now to get the whole thing started and then keep these sensors going. So how many breathing exercises can you do during the day? As many as you would enjoy to get faster. So keep your eyes closed and take a deep breath. Deep breath. Now, if for a moment you were to imagine one of those rare days when somebody's pushing you, hey, hurry, keep going, you're late, come on, you're late, you're gonna cause a problem, all those things, or you even pushing yourself, which I don't recommend. And that was in the milieu. Remember the environment around you, whatever it is, even if it's a Debbie Downer play or movie, whatever it is, I want you to snap out of it with this breathing exercise, this practice. And that's what this one's constructed for. That's why it's good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, or hey, it's evening time, yay, or ha ha, it's wonderful, it's party nighttime. So we're going to drop whatever that rush is and give you a chance to amp up so that you can go win in whatever you had to do that you thought or somebody else thought you had to rush for anyway. So this is a no rush exercise, and yet it doesn't take much time. Deep breath. And one of the things that's so useful is as you watch that breath, as it comes in through your nose, that you can watch it doesn't necessarily have to just come in through your nose. Come on, you can imagine for a minute. Come on, deep breath. And you can breathe in through your whole body. I mean, we'll start with the eyes. Okay, let's breathe in through the eyes at the same time we breathe in through the nose. And you can breathe in through the eyes and the nose at the same time. And you can breathe in straight through the top of your head. Now, there's all types of anatomical spaces there that we can look at if you go in there real close into the bones that make up the little plates of the head. These little plates that make up the bone, actually, if you look at them really deep with a microscope, they're just some spicules. They're not even that many. It's mostly space, which is the joy that you get to create in. That's why there's so much space, because there's so much opportunity for us to create today. And you are made to create great things today in all of the great 8, whichever the ones you want to do. So breathe in through the top of your head too, all through the little holes and spaces there. Now you might try breathing through the top of your head and through your eyes. And through your nose at the same time. Now, people in some disciplines, we won't say where, they'll spend so much time trying to figure out how to pull a string up through one side of your nose and then bring it down through the other, and then, have I made it yet, Master? Am I enlightened? No, you just have a bloody string. So the point is, you all don't need that. You just want to charge into your life. You're part of the reality crew that gets to make it happen and get to enjoy your rewards that you deserve for being here. That's why you came. So deep breath. Previously, you have goals for today, or you have projects. That's why you create them, because of the fun and the value and the enjoyment that that's going to bring you and other people. So breathe in. And as you breathe in, it's so recognizable that you definitely can let your neck take a break. So go ahead. As you breathe in, just let it float backwards a little bit. Let it float back. And sometimes, if you'll notice, that as you breathe, it's easier, whether you're sitting down or lying down, that as you breathe and your neck gets relaxed, that that space that you all call the tops of your shoulders can actually move with you while you breathe. And in days when people used to wear uniforms, remember? A lot of times they would put those big golden things over your shoulders that sort of demonstrated to the world that you had this chevron of power. And sometimes it had little, little things dangling from, but it's always gold and beautiful because this area is actually extremely important to breathe into. So go ahead and do that. Now, as you breathe in there, you can still do the head and the eyes and your nose. And the neck is, that's it, relax. And as you relax, watch the air as you breathe down into the spaces that are under those big golden chevrons that you've got gently descending and honoring not only your shoulders, but your presence here on the planet, ready to create today. So as you breathe, feel it descend onto both shoulders as your neck is relaxed. Breathe. So you can start to see these gold strands of fiber slowly coming down on each side of you. In your mind's eye, you can keep your eyes closed, keep doing that, breathe. As you breathe in more, you'll see they'll gently come down until finally, as your shoulders sort of spread out on the back of your back, where your scapula are, you sort of, those little flat bones that are flat right behind or the most posterior part of your back, those can come together as to make more room for these golden, wonderful chevrons to come down and cover in any form that you like for your uniform, wearing the energy as it's coming in, and let it descend all over your shoulders. So you've got these shoulder chevrons of gold while you're breathing into them, and you'll notice as the more you breathe into them, the brighter they even can get. What's also exciting is as you're breathing, it is okay to recognize that that gold can now meet behind you, and it creates like this wonderful, almost surface between the chevrons on each shoulder, and it creates a surface that really pats and covers the space between your scapulae so that they're now connected. So you'll now practice again as you'll sort of breathe in, as we showed right before, your nose, your eyes, your head. Breathe. And then as you breathe, you'll watch the gold, silver, has some silver lines in it now. Gold and silver threads, and there can be all type of fringe, or there can be tassels, whatever you'll see each time. And as it comes down again, yes, you can bring it down again multiple times during the day. As it comes down today, it's now as it comes down, it's more formed, and so it does have that connection, so that the right shoulder and the left shoulder sort of have that little bond behind your neck and upper back. That's not tight, it just sort of makes sure that the whole area is covered. Like a nice warm gold surface, hand or structure of more either tassels to your design, or can just be some type of gold cloth that connects the two, or it could be one more emblem as you go along in life, so that you have two emblems on each shoulder, one on each shoulder, and actually one on your posterior right below your neck. Now, as those are there, just for a moment, you're doing great. Just enjoy breathing in. And as you breathe in, and notice that again, yes, the two chevrons come down along with the yoke that connects them to behind you. And they gently surface, and that starts to get to be an area where, as you breathe now, you notice you can breathe not only the head, the eyes, the nose. You also can breathe into the neck and both shoulders. So watch yourself do that. Let's do that 3 times. Once more. Feel it descend as it descends over and over and over and gets more rich in color. And then as you have that and you just sort of recognize that the whole future of either your day, your afternoon, your evening, or what you're going to do in the next hour or 3 hours is all there to be created, and you can stay in whatever level you want to stay in when you open your eyes in a few moments. So breathe in. Just make a little smile about whatever's going to be next, whether it's a thing or a person or an activity. And recognize you did all this in a very short period of time on the clock, but in a wonderful extent of time in your present future. And then as you slowly open your eyes again, rub your hands together. And then put your hands over your eyes for a second. And just feel whatever you feel. Some people say that, oh God, I feel temperature. Some people say, I don't feel anything. It doesn't matter what you feel. It's moving the rudder. So if you move your hands over your eyes, whether they're a couple inches away, or it's 2 feet away, or it's 1 foot, as your neck is relaxed, and yes, those chevrons can still keep being, descending onto your neck and back and shoulders. And yes, you can keep breathing as much as you'd like. Then you can smile, rub your hands together, and then put it over the chest bone, heart space. Okay? You can put both hands on top of your chest. Now, what's so wonderful is you can just experience whatever's there. Sometimes you'll experience warmth, sometimes cold, sometimes nothing. Sometimes your shoulders will be tired, sometimes your hands, sometimes you'll have I don't know what, but it doesn't matter. That's not the rudder. You're going to move the rudder according to the ocean. So you'll put it a foot away, 2 feet away, 1 inch, whatever feels. Experiment. And then breathe that in. And yes, you can breathe it in with any of the practices that you've learned here. So you can smile as those chevrons get even brighter. Then rub your hands again and put it over your belly button. And here you can still breathe, which means you can feel whatever you feel. You could have your hands go all the way back to your low back. You can have it go just back to your organs within your abdomen. You can have it gently float in front of you. Short distance, long distance, but you can take all that in. It's yours to use. So you're active in creating your life. You're doing that, and more as you do the things that allow you to create the things you want to have, you have more time to create even more fun, love, and connection. I welcome you to the rest of your day, afternoon, and evening. Keep smiling. Make one goal. And then open your eyes. Thank you. So you all did great. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take a small break. We have something for you. No, we're not selling the tea yet, but we're setting it up. But Justin is going to be the one, because there's only 50 bags. So whatever's gone is gone by the end of the day. But we're not going to sell it until the very end. But I want you to know that if you want to put your name in to be on the list, then you can do that. You can save it. You did great. Now, did anybody notice that breathing exercise is something you want to do again in the future? Did anyone see that was not a long exercise? It was actually quite short, and yet it went right here. And the fun of it is wait till you see the rest of the day. Then you're going to be more and more encouraged to keep fueling yourself. So come back quick, because the material today is something that is the start of you having the identity and life and person in the mirror that you've always wanted every day, better and better. Are you up for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let's do it.